Can you also just tell me, make sure it's going through the main pages okay? Yes. No, check the Fiesta Junior page. You can do a demo for us?
Yeah, no, sorry, mate.
Good man. No, it's right. Mikey.
Yeah, Mickey.
Cool.
Mickey Butler from Goodyear.
Do a little bit and then I'll grab you. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the action here at Croft of the Fiesta Junior Championship. Don't forget, qualifying gets underway at 3 o'clock and we will bring you all of the on-track action live for that as well. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Who is going to get pole? Is it going to stay dry? I don't know. What I do know, though, is we've got two incredible features coming up for you. I've got Mickey over here from Goodyear. He's going to take us through a bit of a demonstration of what Goodyear do and how they get the tyres on. And then we've got last week's British F4 winner from Thruxton, Joseph Loake, for the little chat. Let's grab a quick word. Here is the man himself. What are you going to take us through today?
Not a lot, because watching these work sometimes is a bit painful, but now we're all right.
So what's going on here? Let's have a little look.
So the guys are just obviously putting the room into the jaws of the machine. Obviously the first thing we do quite on a regular basis now is changing the valve, putting new valves in.
Right.
People don't give that attention.
Yeah.
So we're putting a new valve. We do on a regular basis keep changing and keeping up to date. Eddie's just put a new valve and just checking it all.
So how many tyres do you do on a race weekend then, Mickey?
At different levels of motorsport, you know, as you go
Yeah.
up. But for this level, for Fiestas, because obviously we took the Fiestas Juniors and the Seniors back on board.
Yeah.
I think with the swaps and so they've done over 150, 200 tyres. Wow. Then we've helped other championships out. They've got problems. They've got no service here, so we've helped them out. So.
Well, that's good business for you guys.
Well, it's not all about. It's about supporting, you know, these club championships. You know, the grassroots of motorsport.
Yes, yeah.
So he's just dropped the first tyre over the top, and as you watch this machine, he's putting the bottom bead on first. That drops on. Then with the levers.
So it's literally that. So it's almost just get a crowbar to it almost.
Yeah, it's just the lever. You just got to be careful as the tyre goes round. Yeah, it goes under the foot, so there's no ripping.
Yeah.
Once it's under, it goes off, and what you can notice is everything's at waist height, so there's no bending over, so you protect the back.
Right.
Because of safety, the tyre now has to get into an inflation cage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'll
wow.
put it on, and usually they shut the door when he puts it on.
Health and safety, don't risk assessment. Yeah.
So what it does now is it's in the cage, so if we have a problem with the wheel, if the wheel explodes, it's contained within a you know what I mean, in a cage.
Wow, you can hear it popping, can't you? Blimey.
Yeah, once it gets popped onto the beads are both seated, you'll hear a double poke front and back bead.
Yep.
They'll set it at the pressure that leaves the service use about 2 bar. He'll put a core in now, so the core will go in, he'll put a valve cap on and just double quickly check the pressure again.
And it seems like you guys are preparing wet weather tyres here, are we?
Yeah, I mean the forecast at the beginning of the week was it was not looking great at all for Saturday and Sunday. I mean, so far so good. We seem to have missed the brunt of it.
Yeah.
But, I do feel we're going to get a bit of rain at some point today. Once that's done, it's around to the balancer. And it's not only we're balancing the tyre, we can also check when the wheels are on there. We can check for buckling wheels and one thing, and obviously what's happening. And when you can see when people they've hit a curb or dropped it off a track, so we can check all that. So it's all about safety all the way through the procedure.
Yeah.
So now you're just setting up the machine to take that kind of size wheel and tyre.
Fantastic stuff, isn't it? It looks so simple, but it's really not, is it?
Well, if you had the right people, it looks simple.
It's for you guys.
Yeah.
You asked me to do it, I'd fall over
Yeah,
it.
no, it's no problem. No, they've got to be trained. It's all about the safety, and we're here to help.
Exactly.
And in the pit lane, we'll help the teams as well with the setting of the car, understand the car.
So you always send a truck to every sort of meeting where you're involved with?
Yeah, so for everything in the UK, from British touring cars to brick car, to club racing, historic racing, motorcycle, because we have both Dunlop brand and Goodyear brand. Yeah. We do both. So from karting, so we do a lot in the UK, but we've got the guys now racing in Austria with ELMS at the moment.
Oh wow, nice.
Doing all that. Apparently it's raining over there as well. So
I hear the Goodyear blimp is not going to be flying around Europe anymore, is it? Just in the States, is that right?
Might be surprised where you see it.
Really? Keep your eyes peeled, everybody. You might see the Goodyear blip. And this is done. There we go. It's done.
Ready for the team to come and collect and send away?
And who's collecting this? Do we know?
No, because nobody owns up, so who's going to pay for it yet. So we'll wait for him.
Whoever's got the checkbook.
Whoever's got the checkbook, Craig, it's theirs.
Lovely.
All right.
Guys, thanks so much for that. I just want to have a little poke in the back of your truck, if that's all right, if you don't mind. That one's empty, is it? If you have a look in here, just have a little look at all of these tyres. You probably can't go in, but there's an awful lot of rubber here, isn't there? Getting ready for this weekend. Don't forget, it's only Saturday. We only had one race completed so far. We've got the BMW Compact Cup currently out on track. Remember, you can watch the live stream of all the racing action too on the BRSCC Facebook page as well. Now, I am also delighted to say massive thank you, cheers guys, to Goodyear there for taking us through that. I've never really known how you get a tyre onto the actual wheel like that. I guess they've always just come. Now, last week was a very special week for a certain young man, Mr. Joseph Loake. He made his debut in British F4, and what a debut it was, Joseph. I'm delighted to say I am joined by, first of all, the 2020 BRSCC Fiesta Junior champion. We've got to add another title to your name now, haven't we? We've got to add British F4 race winner to your title. It was your debut at Thruxton last week. It was the trickiest conditions because I watched your race. And what happened?
Well, I guess the first two races we had weren't the best. Struggled quite a bit, but then the last race obviously all went to plan and couldn't have gone any better. We won the race. So.
It really did, but you were under a lot of pressure throughout the race, weren't you? I'm not sure who was second, but the gap was around about half a second. They just weren't letting you get away, were they?
Yeah, it was my teammate actually, Mackenzie Cresswell.
Great.
So it was a JHR 1-2, which is quite nice. But the team had worked so hard throughout the whole weekend. And obviously the first race just didn't go to plan. All four of us struggled so much, and then second race it was reverse grid, so it was quite nice to just be able to almost reward the team as well with that result.
I mean, you must have been delighted as well. Getting a race win on for the championship, do you think, Joseph? Is that the goal?
It's way too early to start saying anything about the championship. Considering there's 27 more rounds and we've only done 3 of them.
27 rounds,
yeah.
Is really? Wow, okay. Yeah.
30 in the season, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's your debut as well. We must remember that. It was your debut as well. At Thruxton, it's a very fast track, quite a tricky one, I imagine. Yeah,
it's really tricky, very technical, which is why it probably suited me. I'm one of the more technical drivers on the grid, so it definitely suited me. And JHR has a really good track record there, so it's a strong circuit for them as well. So it was quite nice to have that as the first round, so I could find my feet in the championship.
Fantastic. Now, we must remember as well, you are Fiesta Junior Championship alumni. Very successful last season. What happened last year?
Yeah, obviously winning every race was pretty cool.
Not bad.
It's not what you do on the average year, but yeah, the year just went really well. I was championship favourite anyway, the only returning driver, but the amount of testing that they did, they probably actually had more time in their seat than I did. So yeah, it was a good season. The pace was really strong throughout it. I was setting lap records in terms of the current restrictions at the time. So yeah, I think the season couldn't have gone any better.
Obviously, there's a huge difference, isn't there, between driving the Fiestas and the F4 cars, of course. What would you say is so good about the Fiesta Juniors? Why is it such a good championship to be involved in? Obviously, there's a successful career path you can take if you get the opportunity.
Yeah, I think the professionalism around the paddock is very good. It gets you into kind of an atmosphere that can help you build your confidence, but at the same time have some really good racing, which is why we stayed for 2 years. We obviously used the first year as the learning year, and then second year we went for the championship. So yeah, the whole paddock, every
Jamie from Jam4 trying to run us over there.
Yeah, but yeah, everyone is just so friendly. It's such a nice paddock, and everyone's almost a family with each other. So while you are racing for every point you can, it's also you're really good friends, and yeah, we all get along really well. So it's a really nice place to just find your feet in car racing instead of karting, and yeah, just build on your skills in cars.
Absolutely. Look, thanks for coming down, Joe. I didn't know you were here actually, so it's great that we bumped into you. You just hanging around, just chatting, seeing a few friends and having a good time?
Just meeting up with some old pals, really.
Some old pals. When's the next F4 race?
Be 12th of June, 12th and 13th.
Fantastic. Joseph Loake, thanks for talking to us. How much of a treat was that? We've just had a wonderful demonstration from Goodyear on how they get the tyres prepared for the teams. And then we've just caught up with last season's Fiesta Junior Championship winner, Joseph Loake. Of course, don't forget, he won an incredible race last week and his debut in the British F4 as well. Right, just to remind you, everybody, that qualifying gets underway at 3 o'clock for the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship. We will bring you that live. What we're going to do, actually, we'll just bring on the screen the practice times from earlier. The Fiesta Juniors did have a practice session a little bit earlier, just before 11 o'clock, and it was Sid Smith, wasn't it, who set the pace. He really went for it. What are we going to see in qualifying? Will it stay dry? It's looking quite good at the minute. We can bring that graphic down. So plenty of action still to happen here at Croft. We've still got more behind the scenes coverage to bring you. We're going to bring you qualifying action as well. When you next see us, we'll be in the assembly area, probably round about 10 to 3. See you soon.